centuries before the United States even existed. Long before the first Europeans set foot in North America, the deserts of Utah, Nevada, and Colorado were home to a mysterious civilization. A civilization that built advanced pit-house cities, carved messages into canyon walls, mastered farming in hostile landscapes, and then vanished. Some say famine. Some say war. Others whisper something far stranger. Today, we uncover a forgotten chapter of American prehistory, the Fremont Culture. The civilization that rose, flourished, and disappeared without a trace. And before we begin, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from, hit the like button, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss a hidden piece of world history. Let's dive in. Our story begins around 300 CE, in the rugged landscapes of the American Southwest. Picture this: wind-carved cliffs, red sandstone canyons, icy mountain ranges, and vast deserts. A place where summer burns and winter bites. A land that seems designed to defeat human survival. And yet, a people emerged here, not nomads wandering from water source to water source, but builders, farmers, and artists. Archaeologists call them the Fremont Culture, named after the Fremont River in Utah. But that's just our label. We still don't know what they call themselves. Their footprint stretches across Utah, into Nevada, Idaho, Colorado, and Wyoming, a territory larger than some modern nations. They lived in pit houses dug into the earth like insulated underground homes, adobe surface structures resembling early Pueblo-style buildings, granaries engineered to protect food from heat, pests, and thieves, villages strategically placed along rivers, canyons, and fertile floodplains. To the outside world, these people would have seemed impossible. Farmers in a desert, hunters in a wasteland, artists in a world of stone. But they weren't just surviving. They were thriving. The story of the Fremont begins with a transformation. Before them, prehistoric peoples here lived mostly as hunter-gatherers, surviving on desert game and wild plants. But around 300 CE, everything changed. A new idea swept through the region: agriculture. The Fremont adopted and refined corn farming, likely influenced by neighboring ancestral Puebloan peoples to the south. But they didn't just copy the idea. They innovated. They built irrigation systems to divert precious desert water, drought-resistant planting strategies, granaries elevated on stilts to store corn for winters. Suddenly, instead of constantly moving, families could stay in one place. Villages formed. Communities expanded. And a culture, the Fremont Culture, began to rise. This shift from a mobile lifestyle to a settled, agricultural one was monumental. It's the same shift that gave birth to civilizations across the globe. But the Fremont adapted it to one of the harshest environments imaginable. And that's what makes their rise extraordinary. For nearly 700 years, the Fremont lived in a way that still puzzles archaeologists. Their homes, engineering built for survival. Fremont pit houses were more than holes in the ground. They were temperature-controlled homes. Cool in summer. Warm in winter. Efficiency thousands of years before modern HVAC systems. Their granaries? Stone or adobe chambers built into cliffs or on stilts, sealed tight to protect food from rodents, rain, and heat. This was engineering with purpose. Their clothing, unique in North America. The Fremont crafted one of the most distinctive pieces of clothing in ancient America. The moccasin with a woven sole. Rugged, flexible, and durable, perfect for rocky desert terrain. They also produced woven mats, twined bags, leather garments, basketry with complex geometric patterns. These weren't simple survival tools. They were cultural signatures. Their art, a mysterious language on stone. If the Fremont are remembered for anything, it's their rock art. Etched into canyon walls are tall, ghost-like humanoid figures with no arms, shield-shaped warriors, animals with exaggerated features, hunting scenes, abstract symbols we can't decipher. Some figures look almost extraterrestrial, tall bodies, strange helmets, hollow eyes. Were they spirits? Deities? Important ancestors? Ritual figures? We don't know, but their art tells us one thing. The Fremont saw the world through a lens we still don't fully understand. Their trade and connections. The Fremont were not isolated. Archaeologists have found shells from the Pacific coast, turquoise from New Mexico, obsidian from Idaho. This tells us they were part of a continental trade network stretching hundreds of miles. Their lifestyle, a hybrid society. What makes the Fremont uniquely fascinating is that they were not purely farmers or purely hunter-gatherers. They lived both lifestyles simultaneously. In the same region, you might find a settled farming village, a mobile hunting camp, a seasonal community using both strategies. This flexibility made them incredibly resilient. But ironically, it may have also foreshadowed their downfall. When everything changed, around 1150 CE, the Fremont world began to unravel. And here's where the story becomes a mystery worthy of a documentary. Something happened. Something big. Across Fremont territories, archaeologists noticed villages abandoned, granaries left full, tools and artifacts scattered, rock art suddenly changing in style, weapons becoming more prominent, signs of nutritional stress in human remains. It's as if the civilization was hit by a slow but unstoppable crisis. Theory number 1, climate collapse. Treering data shows a megadrought swept across the southwest between 1100 and 1300 CE, one of the worst in thousands of years. Rivers dried. Crops failed. Grasslands vanished. The Fremont, masters of desert farming, suddenly faced a world where farming didn't work. Theory number 2, conflict with incoming groups. Around this time, a new culture spread into the same region. The Numic-speaking peoples, ancestors of the Ute and Shoshone. Some archaeologists suggest competition for resources grew. Farming villages became targets. Fremont abandoned settlements to avoid conflict. There's little evidence of widespread warfare. But cultural replacement happened fast. Too fast to be peaceful. Theory number 3, cultural transformation, not disappearance. Some experts argue the Fremont didn't vanish at all. They simply changed. Maybe they abandoned farming and returned to a hunter-gatherer lifestyle. Maybe they merged with incoming tribes. Maybe they chose mobility over settlement as the climate worsened. If this is true, then the disappearance is really a transformation. Their descendants may still exist, hidden in the cultural memories of Western tribes. Theory number 4, something more mysterious. Then there are the petroglyphs. Some Fremont rock art from the end of their timeline becomes more violent, more chaotic, more symbolic, less human-like. Was this spiritual crisis? A sign of social breakdown? Or a message we simply can't read? We may never know. Imagine the year 1200 CE. A Fremont village sits quiet under a blazing sun. The cornfields are brittle, yellowing weeks too early. The river is a thin thread through dust. Inside a pit house, a family debates their future. Stay and hope the rains return? Or abandon generations of life and move north? Across the region, entire communities make the same decision. Villages empty. Granaries, once symbols of stability and abundance, stand silent, some still holding corn that will never be eaten. Petroglyph artists carve final messages into the stone. Were they warnings? Memories? Prayers? By 1300 CE, the Fremont culture, as archaeologists define it, is gone. Not destroyed. Not conquered. Just dissolved. Absorbed into the landscape they once mastered. What they left behind. Today, the Fremont legacy lives on in ways most Americans don't even realize. Number 1. Their engineering inspired later desert cultures. Pit house designs influenced later indigenous communities throughout the Southwest. Number 2. Their irrigation ideas shaped early Western agriculture. Number 3. Their rock art is a national treasure. Tourists travel the world to see. Dinosaur National Monument, 9 Mile Canyon, Capitol Reef, Range Creek. These sites hold some of the finest ancient art in North America. Number 4. Their adaptability teaches a lesson for today. The Fremont thrived in a world shaped by climate challenges, something modern society can learn from. Number 5. Their disappearance reminds us how fragile civilization is. A few decades of drought, a shift in culture, a movement of people, and an entire civilization becomes a mystery. If you enjoyed exploring this forgotten American civilization, smash that like button, drop a comment telling me the country or city you're watching from, and subscribe to Dude Historian for more untold stories from around the world. History isn't just in textbooks. It's hidden in deserts, carved in stone, and waiting to be rediscovered. Thanks for watching. I'm Dude Historian, and I'll see you in the next mystery.